subject.
Please do, because I keep going back to it and I keep wanting to throw up.
Alright, now I gotta find the... okay. Comments. Doesn't help.
I don't think you understand. Dogs commonly eat poop.
Yep.
It was probably poop. Especially purebred dogs. That's something that purebred dogs do a lot.
Okay, stop it. Stupid. Alright, ice cream. This is very bright. To my eyes. Tomorrow's my Uncle Daddy's birthday.
Oh, God. So if you guys have seen... Hi. If you guys have seen the Superman movie, let us know. John's gone to see it and he says it's really good.
Mm-hmm. What are the special ones that haven't yet?
Well, Justin doesn't want to see it. At all. Because it's too long.
Damn it.
Why are you laughing? Are you thinking about what happened before we started filming?
No, I just thought it would... That's what she said. Comment. I said she didn't want to see it because it was too long.
Oh, God.
I found it. My tablet's just a little slow.
Sharon Kinnie La Pistolera. I'm gonna be honest. This case is a doozy. Like like originally it feels like it's just like your normal like cut and dry. You're driving to Phoenix. You know that straight road, right?
I'm getting annoyed.
Have you ever been on roller coaster road here in Tucson?
Yes.
How with the
We've
bumps
actually
and the turns?
delivered it because I would purposely go fast just so I would hit the tips in the van.
It's like in the beginning, like on the way to Phoenix, where it's just a straight shot, no stop, just go, 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 right? And then you get partway there, and then next thing you know, you're on roller coaster road. Sharp turn, sharp turn, sharp turn, bump, 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 bump. It's everywhere. It's a wild case.
Okay, it is responding, so stop being a douchebag. Stop it. You fat book. Oh, I figured out how on the J.A.M's one that we're doing this on, it'll actually block inappropriate words.
It will?
Yes, it will.
How will it block it? Does it just mute it?
It either mutes it or it beeps it. I don't know. Sorry, the tablet closed on me because of being a pain in the arse.
I heard a fun thing about Superman is he doesn't swear. The only swear word he says is hell.
Ooh.
And he uses the word gosh unironically.
Oh my gosh.
And he also uses golly unironically.
Gosh and golly. Jay whiz.
Well, golly.
Golly Jay.
What do you call me when what do I say? I go, well, what you call me Ned Flanders every time I say it.
Oh, because of the way you say it like Ned Flanders.
I don't even remember what do I say, oh gosh darn it.
Diddly do or some crap like that.
Oh, darn diddly,
I don't know, it's something that Ned Flanders always says, and I'm like, all right, Ned Flanders.
Darn diddly arned it.
That's it. Darn diddly arnest. Ned Flanders. Am I
Meanwhile, she's over here, Captain America. God bless America.
Yep. Blessing that America. What? Oh, I don't even get a number. Laugh out loud. Number 2. Thomas is at number 2.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about La Pistolera and Sharon Kinnie. This is one of the cases where you feel bad about the kid. Where you feel bad for the child, but not the adult. Okay? So heads up. So Sharon Kinnie was born Sharon Elizabeth Hall on November 30th, 1939 in Independence, Missouri. Her father was Eugene and her mother was Doris. Eugene was a steelworker and Doris was a homemaker. When she was young, her dad actually hurt himself on the job and became unemployed due to the injury that he received. So once he was no longer working, he started to drink pretty heavily. And he paid no attention to his kids. So to make matters worse, Sharon's mom, Doris, was also equally distant.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it came to her daughter. And so as a result, Sharon started to develop a very creative imagination, probably out of loneliness.
Okay. Which what kid doesn't?
A former school friend told reporters she'd take us on explorations down through a sewer on the way home from school. And she would talk about finding money and jewels that were hidden down there. We didn't see the filth or know it was there until we got home and our mother started howling.
Okay.
So Sharon was a weird kid that was really creative and adventurous. I mean, she crawled in the sewers for fun.
Yeah. Excuse me.
She was just a different breed in general. By the time she reached high school, her creativity had taken a more serious, guarded tone. Another former friend said, I think Sharon was always strange and alone, and as a teenager, her complexion was described as mottled and sallow, sometimes pimply, which made her the target of a lot of bullying and shitty comments from people at school. And here's where we start the weirdness of Sharon Kinnie.
Yeah.
When she was 14, the family briefly moved to Washington due to rumors that Sharon had married an unnamed man who died when his truck went over the cliff in Idaho.
She married an unnamed man.
Right?
How do you marry an unnamed man?
Well, so she left Independence, Missouri to move to Idaho. So the rumor was they didn't know who it was, but she married somebody, and then his truck went over a cliff. Remember this.
She got the brakes.
There's no evidence to prove whether this was true or not, but when Sharon did marry eventually, her certificate had them marked, you know how the certificate will say first or second husband?
Yeah.
She listed herself as widow on
That's
the
what she
marriage
said.
license.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. She had put herself as a widow on that marriage license.
Okay.
So at 14, apparently she was married and widowed already.
Dang.
So at the time, widowed or not, the Halls ended up moving back to Independence about a year later when Sharon was 15. And she resumed her solitary life. In the summer of 1956, she met 22-year-old James Kinnie. Now you think about the math there. She's 15, he's 22.
I'm thinking about the math from the other marriage.
It was a year-long marriage.
And how old was that dude
I don't know.
that died, that flew over the cliff?
We don't know.
Okay. I'm like, right when you said she's 15, I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute.
She was 14 when she supposedly married her first husband.
What year was this?
1955? If you're getting stooped up about this, Michelle, you're in for a long one. So,
That's what he said.
Sharon was 15 and she met 22-year-old James Kinnie.
How is that legal? It's not legal. Tell me that's legal? Not legal.
She met him at a Mormon church function.
Legal my ass.
And even though she was 6 years younger than James, he was instantly attracted to her. Now, unlike Sharon, who was smart and savvy and emotionally mature, which is what all people who groom children say. James was shy, he was deeply self-conscious, and he was a student that was on break from Brigham Young University. So Sharon noticed James staring at her all night, but he didn't make a move to go over to her and talk to her. So she took the initiative and approached him, instinctively sensing his attraction to her, which gave her the upper hand in the situation. So he was shy, she was not, and she was emotionally mature.
Okay.
Yeah.
By whose
So
standards?
James was a shy Mormon boy on a campus surrounded by chaste, proper Mormon girls. So Sharon's boldness was exciting and unfamiliar. She had a sarcastic, biting wit, which kept him off balance the entire time they talked, which is really exciting to him. Sharon knew she had the upper hand, and she made it seem like she was super interested in him. And she gave her number to him before abruptly walking away. So in reality, Sharon probably didn't like him.
Well, I mean,
Instead, she probably saw him as a way to get out and escape the life she was living. She
Okay.
had dreamed of escaping the small town. She was lonely and she was bored.
She was a hooker.
No,
Oh, sorry.
she's 15,
Young hooker.
and he's 26,
22.
22. That's what I said. And what does Angela say? Okay, that was legal.
I'd kill that man.
Yeah.
She
So
came back and said pedo. I have to agree, pedo.
she had escaped. Actually, I'm
In what state?
It's Missouri. I'm going to say
Well,
this.
you know, there's only two things that come out of Missouri: steers,
No,
pedophiles.
that's.
You sure
I'm
don't look
going
like
to
a
say
steer
this
me.
now.
Oh, sorry.
James is a victim.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
Plot twist.
that's a pumpkin strudel.
Thank you, honey.
So she was lonely and she was bored, and most importantly, she was
Common
neglected.
law age back then was 12 for women and 14 for men. But he ain't 14. He's in his 20s. That's Texas John.
And she was bored, and most importantly, she was neglected, and James was seen as her way out.
Okay.
Author James C. Hayes wrote, Sharon maintained ambitious dreams. She wanted a prince who would spirit her off to anywhere that wasn't independence. She wanted glamour and wealth.
She wanted a white horse.
Yes. The problem was, James wasn't a prince. But Sharon saw that she could use his naivety to her advantage because she realized he wasn't the best choice, but he also wasn't the worst choice.
Okay.
So James called her pretty quickly, and even though there was an age difference, they became inseparable.
Really? What gave you that clue?
So as time went on and they were inseparable, James became even more infatuated with Sharon.
Okay.
People also started to realize that there was something off about her. They became suspicious and uncomfortable with her. An example of this was that after a few weeks, James's dad, Haggard Kinney, became so uneasy around Sharon that he voiced his concern to his son. He said that he was worried she played James like a marionette
She probably did.
and that she was manipulating him.
Okay.
So James respected his dad and they talked a lot, and he didn't agree, and he could not understand what other Shawns saw in Sharon and dismissed their concerns without a second thought. When summer came to an end, James headed back to Utah for school because he's going to Brigham University.
Okay.
Sharon got really anxious about the fact that she might lose her ticket out, and she might not have been in love with James, but she knew he was her best way out. So playing into his religious sense,
To marry at 16. Yeah, that. Okay.
so playing into his religious sense of moral responsibility.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for you to get your head.
I'm paying attention.
No, because what I'm about to tell you is wild.
Okay. Do it. I don't know what I'm digging for. Just do it.
I need to make sure there's nothing sharp in your hand.
There's nothing sharp in here but a pencil. And a pen right here.
Okay. So playing into a religious sense of moral responsibility, Sharon sent him a letter at school in September, saying, and I quote, "The sins of summer have produced a child in my womb, But don't worry, I don't expect you to sacrifice your education and return to independence. I'll handle the situation. So in case you're like, oh my goodness, she's pregnant. No, she wasn't. She was very much like Ruth Judd, the trunk murderess.
She Delulu.
She was purposefully saying she was pregnant to manipulate James to either come back or send her to Utah.
She Delulu.
Yeah.
She delusional.
So the reason she said that was because James was deeply religious, and hearing I'll take care of it will definitely cause him to be like, no, I'll do whatever I need to. Now she's 16 at this time. So James was shocked, but I mean, they had to have done something in order for him to believe that she could potentially be pregnant. So anyway, he showed the letter to a female friend, and the female friend was like, she might be lying to trap you into a relationship.
They're already in one. Are you a little
Into
slow?
a marriage is more particular. And James was like, no, Sharon would never lie to me. She's not capable of it. She very much is. So he came to the conclusion the only thing he could do was make her an honest woman. So he decided to go back to independence and marry her.
You stay home and take care of the little one.
In early October 1956, James took a leave of absence from Brigham Young University, packed up a few belongings, and headed back to Missouri to marry Sharon. On October 17th, James, his father, and Sharon went to the Jackson County Courthouse to apply for a marriage license. Not having a future secured with James, Sharon's attitude completely changed. She showed her true colors. According to James Hayes, an author who wrote a book on Sharon Kinnie, she no longer shared complicity on the pregnancy, but blamed the child on him alone. She reminded him that his lust interrupted her college and hinted at having been through this with another man, potentially her first husband, the one that drove off the cliff, allegedly. So she's just manipulative.
She did it.
She outs herself in this position. I mean, James did his part, but they slept together. But by all means, she made this happen.
It takes two to tango.
She was manipulating him, and he fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. It's wild to realize that Sharon was 16 at the time, and now she's blaming James
How
for
is
it.
that wild? When
What do you mean? How's that wild?
No. It was wild that she was 16 at the time. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Little sleazeball.
She was mad at him for coming back.
Woman. Okay.
She was really good at tearing down. Apparently, when she was filling out the paperwork for the marriage, she was mumbling shitty things about her father-in-law. And father-in-law Hagrid, who was standing next to her. And then she began with James. She started to openly berate James about his beliefs when it came to virginity and religious purity. To rob her of a traditional church wedding she thought she was entitled to have.
Okay, did you know anything else about a Mormon? Because Mormons can have more than one woman. Just saying. Did you learn that?
She was mad that because he had gotten her pregnant before they were married, she was like, "You're not giving me my church wedding I want. You're the one who told him you were pregnant."
Yeah, you dumb son of a biscuit eating snot bag.
So she was so mad at James for not just marrying her. She was mad that he didn't marry her in a church in a big wedding, which who's going to pay for it because her family wasn't.
His family can't.
Yeah, no, James's family would have paid for everything. James's family was kind of well off.
Well off their rocker for letting their son marry this person.
Well, remember the father tried to talk him out of it, but James didn't listen.
He's the only one off his rocker then.
Yeah. But the day after the wedding license was approved, the two were married in a small ceremony held in the Kinnie home. So believing that he had done the right thing, James took his 16-year-old pregnant wife into the car and drove them to Utah. So he went back to school because now he was even more determined to support his family and make something of himself. When they arrived in Provo, Utah, James and Sharon moved in with a friend of James temporarily while he waited to find a place of his own. But that hope of settling down was destroyed by Sharon. When they got there, Sharon did nothing but complain about everything. Their temporary accommodations, James never having any time for her because he was still in school. She was just a negative Nancy, always trying to bring him down. She was also just being cruel to him, and it made it really hard for him to focus on their studies because they were always fighting. In late December, 2 months after they moved to Provo, they moved back to Independence, Missouri, the place she wanted to leave the most. Now they were back in Independence, and they had moved into a small house next door to his parents, which his father owned. So they gave them a little more space, because I will say apparently in Provo, the living accommodations was pretty cramped. So Sharon is talking about how much she hated James on just like to anyone she would listen to her. She's like, I hate James. James is awful. James is this. And she would also rant about how much she hated living next to her in-laws and how she actually looked down on them. She mocked them for their conservative and religious beliefs, which is really rude. Okay? And then Sharon didn't like her father-in-law, most likely because he saw her for who she truly was. But James's mom refused to believe that anyone could be cold and calculating.
Have you met Sharon?
Because she's a woman. if you can see what I did here.
I'm just mocking what she wrote.
I sat at the computer and I typed ha like this. And Justin was like, what are you aggressively typing? Ha numerous times. According to the author Hayes, James's mom believed in the storybook relationship and that she should be close to her son's wife. She was a really sweet woman. She offered to pay their bills when they fell behind. She would take Sharon on shopping trips and out to lunch. She was like the ideal mother-in-law.
And you hate these people?
Yeah.
I'd be soaking that crap up.
Sharon was awful to James and was mocking them still about everything. Everything they did because she was so much better than them in her mind.
Mormon?
No, she's not.
That's probably why.
After they had resettled, Sharon started filling her days with spending the little money that James was making, which eventually wasn't enough for her to spend, so she got a job. And even though she was skilled at every job she tried, she worked in a print shop, a babysitter, a legal secretary, a hotel receptionist. She was fantastic at all of them.
Okay.
But she got bored really easily, and when she got bored, she would quit.
Storybooks lie.
I will say that the money she earned, she had the motto, your money is my money, when it came to James, but my money is my money.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that's not how it worked, but in her mind, that's how it worked. So she continued to spend recklessly, even charging James' account instead of her own during certain circumstances. So at this point, you might be like, has anyone realized she's not actually pregnant? It's been a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, because she also realized
too.
that. Yeah.
I don't like the statement of my money is my money and your money is my money. No.
Yeah.
It's a double there.
She should be showing, right, at this
Power.
point, but she wasn't. So she did something really awful. James came home from work and found her in a panic state, and she told him that shortly after he left her, her body started to reject the pregnancy. So she lied and used this opportunity to gain more sympathy from him by making it seem like his high security job at Bendix Corps had put too many barriers to reach him.
Excuse me.
So that's why he didn't find out sooner. That's right. She tried to blame him for not telling him sooner, even though she made it up. She faked a miscarriage.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a piece of work,
Yeah.
Sharon.
Yeah. And then blamed him for not knowing why it was happening sooner. So in January 1957, not long after her miscarriage, she found out she was pregnant for realsies this time. And in fall, she gave birth to the couple's first daughter, Dana. Now from the outside, it looked like she was a devoted mother and caretaker. She seemed to be living up the responsibility of domestic life, and she started to go to church with the family, and it seemed she was embracing the Mormon lifestyle. But just like her jobs, when she got bored, she went back to spending excessively. By 1959, she had given birth to another boy named Troy, and the family moved into a new home in a subdivision. And the new baby seemed to occupy Sharon's attention for a little bit, which made her a little less abusive. The baby, though, gave her more reason to spend money. In response, James took a slightly higher paying second shift, which left her alone with the kids in the evenings and put even more emotional distance between them. With James working in the evening, she found herself more free time than she had in years. And she decided to look for her old boyfriend, John Boldis. Now this relationship was different because it was exciting and it was forbidden. She reveled in the infidelity because she liked the sneaking, and where James had become so used to her personality, John wasn't. And so he was also very easy to manipulate. So much like her jobs and also her children, when she got tired of John, she stopped seeing him.
Is there a bird? Huh? Is there a bird?
Sorry, Mulan is chittering.
Is there a bird? Okay.
She found a bird. So, much like her jobs and also her children, when she got tired of John, she stopped seeing him. But she did keep him on the side when she couldn't find another man to keep her company. When she couldn't find another man to keep her company, she would go to John.
Old milkman, huh?
Yeah. So much like her... Now, by 1960, life in the Kinnie house had deteriorated to a near breaking point. It seemed to James that Sharon was never home, and that was fine. But she was not living up to her end of the domestic bargain. This was the 60s, so there was the expectation that when a man came home from work, he would have his dinner all prepared for him. But she wasn't doing nothing. She was actually just leaving a frozen meal, and she was also absent from the children. They were neglected for many of their needs, not just physically, but emotionally. Their needs were being met not by their mother, but instead their babysitters. So because of all of this, James realized that Sharon was cheating on him. He didn't know how bad the cheating was, but he knew it.
Yeah.
He thought about divorcing her, but in the Mormon community, even to this day, divorce is kind of taboo. It's not something you do. There has to be like...
Sorry, I'm watching her just like incognito. She's in between our blinds down here. Well, the bird's out on the wall. Where'd it go, Mulan?
Why are you looking at me like I scared him off?
Hey, shall we? Did the bird run away?
So, the weeks went on.
We'll come back.
So when he would ask people, they would discourage him from doing it. They would say to work it out their problems for their children's sake. So as the weeks went on, he realized he couldn't do it anymore, and he actually brought up divorce to Sharon. And she had agreed to the divorce, saying their marriage had met its end. But she had terms for the divorce.
Of course.
Want to guess the terms?
He kept the kids. She just wanted the money.
No, it was even worse than that. The terms were that he would give her the house and Dana and $1,000 in cash. Remember, she had 2 children,
I was gonna say yeah.
Dana and Troy. So she was like, nah, I don't want Troy. You can keep Troy. So James naturally said no. He didn't want to split up the kids, and he didn't want any part of the divorce. And Sharon also didn't like the idea of divorce because, well, she wouldn't win.
No, she wouldn't, because there's too much neglect. Her constant spending. She's irresponsible. It was like a list for Sharon.
It was at this time that Sharon realized there was a way for her to win and to get everything she asked for and more. On Saturday afternoon, March 19th, 1960, the Jackson County Sheriff received a frantic call from Sharon Kinnie saying her husband had a heart attack. and she needed help right away. So the sheriff department headed straight there. And when they found a strange issue. James Kinnie was lying on the couple's bed. His target pistol was on the pillow next to him, pointing to the large hole in the back of his head. He was still alive when they got there, but he did pass on the way to the hospital. Sharon told the officers earlier that he had gone to the bedroom earlier that day to take a nap. And she was in the bathroom getting ready to go to church. She heard her 2-year-old daughter Dana go, "How does this work, Daddy?" And she heard the shot ring out.
How old is her daughter?
2.
You're gonna pinpoint it on your child that your 2-year-old shot Dad in the head.
2 years old.
I'm sorry, if any child is curious about a gun, they're gonna point it at themselves first to look at it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now
Sharon.
James always had a fast.
He had a heart attack.
Yeah. Also, that is never explained why she said he had a heart attack on the phone call. That is never
You
explained.
mean a head attack? Come on, Sharon. Get it right.
So now James had a fascination with guns. He would take them apart and clean them, but Sharon said he was careless and forgetful with them. According to hers and others, he would leave them laying around the house. One of the more popular areas he would leave it was next to the TV where the kids could easily reach it. The officers noted that his gun belt and ammunition was lying next to him, which supported Sharon's claim. Investigators did wonder why he would have laid down to take a nap with a loaded pistol laying next to his head, but after a little, they brushed it off. Maybe. Now, there wasn't a lot of evidence to prove or disprove Sharon's claim. The .22 caliber pistol was taken from the scene, but it was covered in so much oil they couldn't take fingerprints. They also didn't test Sharon or Dana to see if they had gunpowder residue on their hands. The technician that worked there at the time said it was an unreliable test.
Because of the...
Which actually it is one of the most common tests they do now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The only other test they did was a pull test, which was to determine whether someone had enough strength to pull the trigger.
Well, a 2-year-old sure as hell is not going to have enough strength to pull the trigger.
So the pistol had a 3.25 pound pull, and it turns out Dana could pull that. So they also brought a bad gun and asked Dana to show him how to shoot a gun, and she did pull the trigger. But she also knew how to release the safety catch on the gun.
The fuck? I think Mom taught her. Bet. Mom taught her.
In their statements, the press sergeant Herman Davis of the Kansas City Police told reporters that the bullet had entered from the rear and lodged in the skin between the nose and the right eye.
Oh.
Yeah, so it wasn't a clean shot.
Damn. That hurt.
Yeah, so Davis did say that the wound was consistent with the position of the gun that was lying flat on the pillow when it discharged, leaving a crease and powder burns on the pillowcase. The press was made aware of the working theory that Dana had pulled the trigger and accidentally shot her dad when he was asleep. And they also stressed he could not have pulled the trigger himself. Turns out the investigators never asked Dana if she fired the gun or any questions about the incident.
What is she going to tell you? She's 2.
Yeah, they were ready to rule the death an accident. With the autopsy to complete, the death was ruled accidental, and Sharon was free to collect the various life insurance policies that had been taken out in the years prior to his death, including the Veterans Administration insurance and homeowners insurance. With James dead, the balance of the mortgage was wiped and the rights to the house were transferred to her. She received about $29,000, which is about $348,000 today's standards.
Jeez.
So she cashed it out. Now, if it wasn't for her impulsivity, Sharon may have never been a suspect in her husband's death. But she was who she was, and she needed someone to prop up her self-esteem. And that was Walter Jones. So after cashing out on all those life insurance policies, she wasted no time spending them. Now, a little fun fact, when James was alive, Sharon kept pestering James to buy her a Ford Thunderbird. And he would mainly say no, because they had 2 kids, and it wasn't a family car, and they also didn't have the money. Now, with this crap ton of money, she went down to the Rudy Fick Ford dealership on April 18th, 1960. Not even a month after James's death.
And bought one.
She was then helped by Walter Jones. Now, Walter was a handsome guy, and he had a great personality. He was very successful in car sales. In fact, she had only intended to get the air conditioner fixed in James's old Nash, but Walter talked her into buying a car. All she had to do was trade in her dead husband's car for a new one, and she did. AKA nerdy.
Yep.
And so then after, she was making daily trips to the dealership. Now, Walter was a salesman, a married one. And after Sharon bought her car, he started to have an affair with her. Now, an important fact is Walter was married to his high school sweetheart, Patricia. What are you doing?
Hold on back in the chair.
BB. BB. BB.
She can't because she lets go, she'll fall. There we go.
So he started to have an affair with her. Now, another important fact was Walter married his high school sweetheart, Patricia.
Well, what are you doing, honey? You're just stuck? Come on. Come here. Come here. You don't need that.
have my drink.
It's fine. It's off, and he's okay. Hi.
The baby.
Come here, Mama. Oh yeah, it's wet right there. Come here.
No.
Come here. It's okay. She does not like that ceiling fan.
Yeah.
I don't. She just has never been a fan of it, but she's made a couple of guest appearances on here.
So Walter was a salesman, a married one, and Sharon bought her car. She started to have an affair with him. Now, another important fact was Walter was married to his high school sweetheart, Patricia. So a little more on the two of them because they are really important. Patricia and Walter got married right out of high school, right before Walter enlisted in the Marines. They then moved to California, where most military people went for training. And after he was discharged, they moved back to Missouri. Now, when they moved back, that's when their marriage started to go downhill. Walter's affairs began almost immediately after they got married and continued up until he met Sharon in the spring of 1960. And Patricia only stayed with him because of their 2 kids. Now, Sharon didn't like the fact that Walter was married, because as long as he was married, she couldn't control him. So determined to break up their marriage, Sharon had a strategy, one that had worked for her in the past. The good old pregnancy one.
Oh, God.
She told Walter she was pregnant with his child, and he needed to end his marriage with Patricia. Again, she wasn't pregnant. So the news was surprising to Walter, and his infidelity was not that much of a secret to his wife, which led to several arguments between Walter and Patricia threatened to leave him and take their kids. Now, faced with the possibility of losing his wife and kids, he reconsidered his relationship with Sharon, and he actually began to resent how dependent he was on her and the attention she gave him, and occasionally the money she spent on him.
Okay.
During the week of May 27th, Sharon had been on a vacay with the money. Oh God, I touched the wrong thing. Been on a vacay. He spent more time with his wife than he had in a while, and he realized how much he missed his wife and how much he wanted to spend time with her. So he decided that when Sharon returned, he would end the relationship and begin working on their marriage. But he never got the chance.
Shouldn't be surprised, but hey.
On the evening of May 27th, 1960, John Boldes, remember?
Oh, her side piece.
Her side piece, called the sheriff's office, the Jackson County Sheriff, to report that he and his lady had taken a drive to the Lover's Lane area off Phelps Road, outside of Independence, and they made a horrible discovery. Boldiz at first told investigators the couple thought the woman who was eliminated by their headlights had just fallen asleep in the wooded area. But after getting out and investigating, they found 4 bullet holes in her head, stomach, and both shoulders.
Oh, jeez.
When investigators arrived on scene, they found very little evidence. The woman would later be identified as Walter's wife, Patricia Jones.
That's not going to end well.
And one of those shots had been close enough to leave powder burns in her skirt. There was a surprising lack of blood at the scene, which made investigators go, she wasn't shot here. She may have been shot somewhere else and brought here. Her clothes were messed up and there was no sign of ASA. She was shot 4 times, somewhere else, dumped here, and then posed. There was no motive.
Yeah, because if you go to shoot somebody in the spot and they go do an investigation, there will be puddles of blood, and seeing as how there was no puddles of blood under her where she was at, that's where they figure she was shot elsewhere.
Next morning, Walter was brought in for questioning, and he explained he hadn't seen his wife the previous morning, and he had filed a missing persons report when she did not come home the night before. He even offered to take a polygraph test to prove his innocence. Now, the investigation took a turn when they found out Boldiz's girlfriend was none other than Sharon Kinnie. Now, her proximity to 2 murders in a 2-month span raised those early suspicions a bit higher. And to add to the suspicion, Walter admitted he had been having an affair with Sharon Kinnie with Sharon Kinnie for a little more than a month.
We're going to start calling her Shinny.
He also brought up that a friend of Patricia had seen Sharon and Patricia together the day before she went missing.
Oh, that's not good.
So according to Walter, him and Sharon got into an argument on the morning of the 26th, and then they went their separate ways. She went to her job at the IRS.
Oh, she could screw up his taxes. Ooh.
And he went to drop off the kids at the babysitter's before going to work himself.
She could definitely mess up his stuff.
Now, when he got home later that day, she was nowhere to be found. So he called her friends, and that's when he found out that Sharon and Patricia were seen together. Then another friend said Patricia had been asked to be dropped off at a weird location, where she was seen getting into a 1957 or a 1958 Dodge, driven by a young woman. When he heard this, he admitted to calling Sharon, who said she had talked to Patricia and told her that Walter was sleeping with Sharon's sister.
When did Sharon have a sister? I don't remember a sister.
She didn't.
It's hilarious because you may think I'm not paying attention because I distract myself by doing things, but I listen.
No, she was telling Patricia, yeah, Walter's sleeping with my sister, when she was sleeping with Walter.
And it's like, wait, she didn't have a sister. Why did
Yeah,
she tell me
exactly.
she had a sister? Liar.
So he semi-passed the polygraph, but
How do you semi-pass the polygraph?
because he lied on a couple of cases.
I'm
and
sorry.
We're gonna find out the parts he lied on.
Oh,
Sharon refused to do a polygraph test, and she said she only had gone on 12 dates with Walter.
only? You're trying to break up a marriage by having a fake pregnancy, you dimwit.
The officer recalled a statement that Sharon made. It went as such: I am very fond of Walt, and I didn't want anything to happen to him and his family. So she said she called Patricia, told her there was something she needed to tell her about her husband, but she needed to do it in person. She also confessed to borrowing her father's car, a Dodge, and this was so Walt didn't recognize her car when she dropped off his wife. So Sharon admitted that Patricia got in the car. Sharon told her that Walter was having an affair with her sister, and she wanted her to know because it was inappropriate and it needed to end. She said all of that. And then she said she dropped her a block away from the house, and she said when she was turning away, she looked in the rear view mirror and saw her talking to a man in a 2-tone green 1957 Ford. Apparently, it was completely coincidence that she ran into Patricia's body on Lover Lane. She said that Patricia was upset but not mad about the information she was told. The thing that gets me is you tell a woman that her husband is sleeping with your sister, but it's actually you. And then you take your other boyfriend to Lover's Lane.
And then you turn and be like, oh, wait, what's that? It looks like she's sleeping. Go check it out.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, she's still in her 20s.
How old is this boyfriend?
I don't know.
I'm afraid to ask.
So the autopsy is done on the body, and it determines that the cause of death was the gunshot to the head. And her time and date of death was around 8 or 9 p.m. on May 27th. Sadly, the bullets that were retrieved from the shoulders and heads, the bullets that were received from the head, was so damaged they couldn't match it to the weapon. And the fourth bullet had gone through her stomach and exited her back and lodged in the place where she was
How the
killed.
heck were the bullets so damaged they couldn't?
It might have hit the bone.
Dang.
Yeah.
She had some good bone structure then.
So the police went back to the woods with a metal detector to find the bullet that had exited Patricia, but they couldn't find it. And they also couldn't find anything else with this case, no evidence at all. While this was happening, the police polygraphed Walter and John, which they passed. But Walter's was a little questionable, and I'm going to tell you why. Because he kind of lied. When Walter had found out Sharon was seen with Patricia, he didn't call her. He went to Sharon's place to ask her why. Now, Walter admits that, he admitted that he put a knife to Sharon's throat and demanded that Sharon help look for Patricia. And then an hour later, Sharon is with John on Lover's Lane and happened upon Patricia's body. John admitted in his polygraph they didn't go to Lover's Lane for intimacy, but instead was looking for Patricia.
Well, I mean, she's looking for her, even though we know who did it.
John also said that Sharon tried to get James's pistol back from the police department, which didn't happen. But that's insane. She asked him to go into the police department and ask for the .22 caliber pistol that killed her husband.
No, you're not getting it.
So,
Too bad it's just that, Sharon. You should have thought about that.
the police were still looking in the woods for evidence, and that's when it happened. They changed from looking in the woods to looking in the abandoned farm building across the street. And on the morning of May 30th, investigators found 2 blankets with bullet holes and powder burns, which led them to believe that Patricia was taken to the barn where she was killed.
And then drug across the way.
Yeah, and then brought into the woods. The police explained that would explain the period of time between when she was last seen and when she was found. The police searched the barn and they didn't find anything else, and they started to lose hope. And that's when a key piece of evidence was found. A co-worker from Sharon's photo processing plant, where she was working, said that Sharon had pressured him into buying a .22 caliber pistol. When police asked her why, she said she wanted it for protection for a trip to Washington. And then she said she left the gun in Washington with the family she was staying with.
Please tell me that they called to verify this.
They never were able to find the gun until much later, we think.
That close, bullets get damaged. Okay.
So,
Hi. Yeah.
now police didn't really believe this. All of the evidence was against her, and like 3 months ago, her husband had died in mysterious circumstances. So on May 31st,
He died in mysterious circumstances. He had a bullet in his head.
on May 31st, after Patricia's funeral, deputies from Jackson County Sheriff's Department served a warrant to Sharon and arrested her for the murder of Patricia Jones. On June 1st, the day after she was arrested, Sharon appeared in front of a judge for her hearing about her charge of first-degree murder of Patricia Jones. And a preliminary hearing was scheduled for June 16th.
Okay.
She was held on $20,000 bond, which was paid by her family and friends, which for this time period, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
And she was released that afternoon. After the arraignment, the sheriff's office asked the district attorney to charge her for... What do you think they asked her to charge him?
To charge her for?
Yeah.
Excuse. First degree murder?
The murder of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's getting tried for the murder of Patricia, but also the murder of James.
So first degree murder on both counts.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 counts of first degree murder. Let's just be precise.
The biggest problem in both cases was the lack of forensic evidence. The cases were purely circumstantial at best, and it could lead to reasonable doubt.
How? She did it.
That's okay. So I need you to think about this in this way.
See, you're asking me to think. That's the problem.
You're listening to a case where you don't have the gun, you don't have a good bullet to identify the gun, you don't have any hairs or anything like that. You just have a dead body and a bunch of things that say she was last seen with her. She found the body, but that's about it. She was having an affair with the husband. It's very circumstantial.
Thinking bad, yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, thinking
is
very
bad.
bad. So the police realized that without the last bullet or without the gun, there was no way that a jury would convict. So they realized they needed to find one of them. So police, citizen volunteers, and even a Boy Scout troop scoured the crime scene looking for the evidence they so desperately needed. On June 2nd, a sergeant with the sheriff's office located the fourth slug, lodged 6 inches into the ground directly where Patricia's body had been found. Finding that the slug was a win, which promptly was burned to the ground. Because the police found out that the person who did the autopsy had sent Patricia's body to the morgue with the other 2 bullets still in her shoulders.
Okay.
They never removed the bullets. They never removed the key evidence.
Oopsie. Our bad.
And remember, Sharon was buried on May 31st.
Okay.
So they buried her with evidence still in her body. A spokesman from the police said they felt there was a negligence at the time of the autopsy. According to the sheriff's officer, they had asked them to hold the body for further testing and investigation of the slug. The coroner ignored this and sent the body to the mortuary. The more investigators looked at the case, they realized it was going to be a lot harder to prosecute than they originally thought. So not only had the 2 slugs had been buried in Patricia's body, but the embalming process began before they performed the autopsy.
You're supposed to do the autopsy first, then the embalming.
Because if there's chemicals, toxins...
It's going to screw up. It's going to literally deplete it.
Exactly, because it drains all the blood. This was a huge issue. Somebody told the press it's all botched up. How badly this series of mistakes will hurt us will have to be determined later. This was not the first case.
The coroner sleeping with her.
Well, here's the case. So I guess the coroner's office, when I was doing research on this, the coroner's office at the time was an elected official. So this meant that the coroner could be Joe Blow off the street who decided to run for coroner. It could be John. It could be Justin. It could be you that just went, I want to be your town's coroner. And they were elected in. They didn't have to have a medical degree.
Wow. Welcome to our society and government today, folks.
The police also stated this is not the first case they has messed up for us, and it is probably not the last.
What gave you that clue? Smart one.
According to the prosecutor's office, the coroner tried to cover up his mistakes at multiple times during the investigation. The coroner was quoted saying, finding the slugs in the body would be like finding a needle in a haystack.
Okay.
She has entry wounds.
Yeah, how are you missing that?
He also told investigators he did not want to conduct the test on the stomach content because it would be too messy.
You're a coroner, for crying out loud. God bless America.
Fortunately, Walter Jones let them exhume Patricia's body so they could do a proper autopsy.
Yes, please let Ken go back to his dollhouse.
Because she had, but it couldn't be a proper one because she had gone through the embalming process, so a lot of things could not be done.
All they got to do is just find the slugs.
Well, they wanted to test if she had chemicals in her body, like somebody had sedated her or something like that.
Be, like you said, hard to do because they
Exactly.
They already did all that, so that's out. Just find the damn slugs.
Yeah. So
Assume she was sedated.
When it came to removing the slugs from Patricia, they had someone else do the autopsy, a new pathologist, a Dr. Charles Wheeler. And they removed the slugs, luckily. But they also found out that Patricia had eaten before she was killed. And it was pickles and salami that she had eaten.
Her final meal. Wow.
If that's
gross.
girl dinner.
T-shirt.
He confirmed that she was not SA'd and was able to confirm the sequence that she was shot. The new autopsy that was done was encouraging to the prosecution because they retrieved the slugs but also determined the murder was not committed for deviance of the sexual kind, but also that it was not a robbery because nothing was missing, leaving the most likely cause of death a personal vendetta. Sharon found the investigation not just into Patricia's death, but also James's death to be a huge inconvenience. And this was because James's case had been reopened. So all the insurance payments to Sharon were stopped. So that left her with little to no money to pay for anything. Lawyers, bills, personal things, and her kids.
I mean, the house was paid off, so that was hers. That's
But
all
she found a
had.
way. She sold the house and her car and used the money to keep her afloat. Because she believed she would
There's
get...
some olives in there. That was for dinner for me Friday.
Because she believed she would get the money back. She'd start getting the money back and the insurance would start paying. As the police and prosecution were building a case against her, Sharon's team would challenge everything that was brought up. So basically they'd be like, here, we have a slug. I challenge that. That should not be brought into the case. They were doing that. They were being tedious as hell. It took a full year before either of the cases went to trial. And then when that happened, it didn't look too good for the prosecution. The trial of Patricia Jones began June 12th, 1961, with opening statements on the afternoon of June 14th. In the statement for the prosecution, James Arnott Hill argued the state's case, which was that Sharon had been having an affair with Walter, and after he refused to divorce her, she met with Patricia, killed her and dumped her in an area frequented by young people and staged it to look like that of a murder of sexual passion. The prosecution called on numerous witnesses that told the jury they saw Patricia with Sharon before her murder, and they also said that they also relied on expert witnesses ranging from the investigators to Dr. Wheeler. He explained the results of the second autopsy, but it was not an easy case by a long shot. They still had some stuff to handle, mainly the botched autopsy. The defense took the lack of physical evidence and ran.
Yeah, because you let some person just run as a coroner. Oh, my Lord.
Do you know in Missouri still? They still have elected officials for coroner?
I hope I never die there.
Mm-hmm.
What, Moo? What?
The defense took the lack of physical evidence and ran. Lieutenant Harry Nesbitt was asked in cross-examination.
All I can see right now is Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story. I'm Mrs. Nesbitt.
So he was asked in
Oh
cross-examination
my God, that's so good.
about the guns collected during the search of the Kinnie home.
Yeah.
Nesbitt explained they found a .22 rifle, an automatic pistol that belonged to Sharon's father, and a blank pistol that won't shoot. He did testify that none of those guns were used in the murder of Patricia. The conflicting autopsy reports made it very difficult. During the examination of the person who did the first autopsy,
See, Buzz Lightyear.
Dr. Hugh Owens. So the dude who did do the autopsy the first time around was a doctor.
Okay.
The prosecutor, when he was questioning him, could barely hide his disdain for the man. In fact, he despised him so much he accused him of messing up the case on purpose. During his questioning, Owens was said to have smiled frostedly and recounted the handling of the body caused a dispute between his office and law enforcement. The conflicting autopsy meant they couldn't be precise about things like the time of death and any chemicals or drugs, but also hairs of things found on the body. This was a bad look for them. But their other witness did not help. After Dr. Owens took the stand, Walter Jones then took it and told the jury about his affair with Sharon Kinnie, the trying to break it off, and the fury and threats he made to her when he found out. She had been seen with Patricia. The admissions didn't help him seem like a good person. But what it did do is make Sharon look good because Walter described Sharon as willing to let him search her and her home for weapons, and that she was willingly offered to help look for Patricia. He held a knife to her throat. Of course, she willingly helped to look for Patricia.
I mean, and the threats that he made to her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. You would be thinking if I was a detective, and I heard at how, I don't know, be like, dude, you just threatened a woman with a knife. You've made idle threats to her,
Mm-hmm.
and demanding that she comes to find your wife.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there would be two suspects, but then he'd be the suspect on Sharon trying. You're endangering a woman. You're endangering somebody by putting a knife to their throat.
But that's the thing. It made Walter look really bad and Sharon really good to the jury.
What a dipshit.
Yeah. So this was when we get some really good police work, I'm going to say. Not that the police weren't doing a good job this time, but they did really good ones. Since they could not find the gun, and the gun was a private sale, what they did was they found the previous owner of the gun, asked him if he had any slugs or bullets from times he had shot the gun, and he actually took them to a place where he used to fire the gun pretty regularly, and they were able to match the slugs.
Okay.
It wasn't a conclusive test, but they said it's from a .22 caliber pistol.
Okay.
So they weren't able to say that was the same gun, but the same kind of gun. So, because this case was, again, circumstantial, there was no forensic evidence, the defense had to put, all the defense had to do was just put a little bit of doubt in the jury's mind. That yes, she was seen with Patricia before her death, and yes, she was uncooperative during the investigation, and yes, she was overheard saying, as if they don't find the gun, they can't charge us. That doesn't mean she did it. That doesn't mean she killed her.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing physical tying her to this case. Their argument was, yes, Sharon was guilty of an extramarital affair. It didn't make her a killer. They didn't even defend her. They just undermined everything the prosecution said. The defense called a man named Donald Fitzpatrick, who said he was at Lover's Lane with his married woman companion. He claimed to not have seen a body a short time before her body was found, which meant...
You've been having some word issues.
I literally, in the car, I was like, oh, you know what comes out soon? Dutch Bros Fall.
Yeah.
Menu.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, the apple cider rebel. And then I didn't say apple cider. I said apple cider.
The epiphytal.
And Justin just kept going, apple.
Who was some
Apple.
Okay, I have to point this out because I heard it today and I was trying not to laugh at this person. Whenever you're in Walmart and they announce over the intercom, right? I won't say who says it because that's not nice. The dude has a lisp.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it today, clearly. I heard it today. And I was like, hey, it sounds kind of like me when I tried to say fabrics and it came out fabrics. And I said it, but I clearly said it over the intercom. But it's when they say it and they talk, I literally heard apple cider.
Epi said it.
Apple cider.
Epi cider.
T-shirt. Apple. Where'd my notebook go? I put it back in my bag. But yeah, I was like, what in the world was that? And they make they always announce every so often, and I heard it again. I was like, oh my God, that dude has a lisp. Yes. I was trying not to call them out, Thomas. But yes, that's who it was. Can't say which one it was because I don't know who it was, but I was just like, dude, I feel bad for them because trying to say, you know, what they have to say and they can't say certain letters together. That's horrible. I feel for them.
So that messed up the prosecution because they argued she was killed there. But if he didn't see anything, how could she have been killed there? So the defense took less than 2 days to argue their case. And on June 23rd, 1961, jury went into deliberation. After an hour and a half, they came back with a verdict of
Guilty.
not guilty.
Damn it. I'm going to get it right one day.
And they cited the reason was because they used circumstantial evidence for the building blocks of their case.
Oh my god. Stupid.
When asked how she felt, Sharon said, "I feel as good as I can." Her defense attorney said there is a power outside of this courtroom affecting this case. The hand of Providence. So Sharon got away with one murder, and I'm coming back to that, don't worry. She did do it. But she still had her husband's trial. Confident she had been found not guilty as well.
Okay.
The prosecution and defense started to build their case, and a trial date was set to begin on January 8th, 1962. It was to take place in front of the same judge that presided over the Patricia Jones murder. The defense was pretty confident they would get a second acquittal. The evidence in James Kinney's death was just as circumstantial, if not more so than Patricia's. There was no solid evidence, and the prosecution was barred from bringing forth any new evidence. Jury selection took a day, and opening statements began on January 9th, 1962. J. Arnett Hill laid out the case and evidence, and he said that weeks before the couple had admitted their relationship wasn't doing so well. Remember how they said they were going to file for divorce, but Sharon said she wanted to keep her daughter, their house, and the $1,000, and James said no?
Yeah.
Well, both of them actually confided this to other people. And the fact that they couldn't agree to each other's terms. This meant that Sharon wasn't going to leave like she wanted with the stuff that she wanted. So apparently she called a man named Donald Boone, saying she had something dirty for him to do. And offered him $1,000 to kill her husband.
So is she the first person to put a hit on her husband?
She then called John Boldy's when Donald Boone said no, and called John Boldy's to the stand to recall a previous statement that Sharon had made about offering him $1,000 to kill her husband. She offered two people $1,000 to kill her husband. So in his deposition.
What is in that?
Energy drink.
Yeah, that's the problem.
In his deposition, he said that she had told him, "I kill my husband, I'll give you $1,000." And she had mentioned they could be together with John out of the way, with James out of the way. Now, when John got to the stand, though, she said it in a joking fashion.
Oh my god.
That she hadn't meant it at all. And it gets worse. He was adamant there was a typo in his deposition.
I like the disposition better.
He said that in the section he was quoted saying, "I got my husband taken care of, and I thought we can be together."
Yeah, they're not talking to each other.
Yeah. We could be together. He said it should have been business instead of husband, and that it was a typo.
Okay. Business and husband do not coincide as one. You smart man, you.
So the defense attorney jumped on these inconsistencies in Boldy's story. He asked, "It was obviously a joke, wasn't it? It would be like if I said, 'John, I'd give you $100 to jump off of City Hall.' Wasn't it?" Which, I don't know about you, but that seems to be like leading a witness, which you're not supposed to do.
That's a no-no.
Yeah. So the defense was arguing, obviously, it was a joke, and any normal person could see that it was a joke. She wouldn't actually kill her husband. She's just really funny.
I say that button takes a little too long.
The prosecution and defense said their closing arguments. To sum it up, the prosecution said Sharon killed James to collect the various life insurance policies, and the defense argued that it was an accidental shooting, and that it was their 2-year-old who killed him. The defense reminded the jury that there was no forensic evidence, just circumstance.
Just dark humor,
Yeah,
right?
just dark humor.
Yeah.
The jury went into deliberation on January 11th, and a little over an hour,
Knee slapper.
the court was adjourned for the day. Outside the courthouse, confident defense attorney Quinn said, "We feel confident this case will be acquitted." And he was right. It looked like they were going to have an acquittal because there was no evidence. Their main witness turned last minute. And that's when the most surprising thing happened. The jury came back with a verdict of
I'm not saying because I got it wrong last time.
guilty.
See? That's why I ain't saying.
The press came out saying that because the defense case relied on John Boldy's testimony and him changing it and trying to make her a comedian made her even more suspicious. Sharon gave no reaction to this verdict. The matron who took her to jail said she had little tears and was saying her stomach didn't feel well.
Well, of course, because you killed people.
Sharon, the day after being found guilty, was told the press, "I think the verdict was a mistake. Something went wrong." When asked why she had been convicted, she said, "For a while I thought it was a good idea to have a woman on the jury. Now I don't think so."
Really? Well, you're wrong, sister.
So Sharon received a life sentence for the murder of her husband during her first year. Her lawyers and friends and family fought to get her bail, citing her children as a reason. The petitions were immediately denied, but because of the ongoing press coverage of her trial, she actually received support and sympathy. It prompted a reevaluation of the trial. And the defense attorney Quinn argued that because there were several administration errors with the trial, she should have a second trial. Most of those were denied, but when the case reached the state Supreme Court in 1963, the judges agreed. She should get a new trial. In July, she was released on a $25,000 bond. Even though she was freed on a technicality, her support was growing. And you can kind of see where this is going.
Yeah, you're right.
Over the years of 1963 and 1964, there would be three more trials. The first one resulting in a mistrial because of a juror's conflicting of interest, aka I'm pretty sure he probably slept with her. In the second trial that was declared a mistrial, it was a deadlocked jury, and it was determined that it was leaning in the way of acquittal, but there was two people who were like holding out, not like letting, they were like, "Nah, she guilty. She did it." But all the others like, "Nah, she didn't do it. She's not guilty." In the third trial, the jurors were leaning towards acquittal again, but again, there was a mistrial. The prosecution wanted to charge her for a fourth time, which was untenable. It was awful. It was tedious. Sharon said it was exhausting. She couldn't do it. She was splitting her time between her children and her part-time job and going to the courthouse. And in a moment of impulsivity...
Oh, dang, she's learning what it feels like to take care of children. What?
She quit her job to spend more time with her kids.
Before she goes to jail.
She went down to the employment office to get benefits. It was at the employment office in August of 1964 where she laid eyes on Frank Puglisi, who was ahead of her in line and was struggling to figure out the paperwork in front of him. Like many of Sharon's boyfriends, he was a blue-collar worker, and he also had a record of petty criminal offenses. And the reason he was at the office, was because he just got out of jail.
Okay.
Sharon inserted herself into helping him with the paperwork, and they hit it off, and they started dating. Also, reminder, she's like in her mid-20s at this point. She's still in her 20s.
She's done a lot in her life.
At this point, her and Frank started to date, and they were dating until the fall. And like all of her other relationships, they fell both hard and fast. And in September, she got him to sign an informal marriage contract.
Well, he's dead.
Not him. Surprisingly, somebody else. She got him to sign an informal marriage contract. Her new trial was going to begin in October, and there was always the risk of going to jail, and that was really scary for her. 2 weeks into September, Sharon went to her attorney's office and said she and Frank were in love, and they wanted to go on vacation to Mexico before the trial began.
We can't let you leave the country.
Well, there were some questions, and
They let her leave the country.
Given that she was still on bond, there were some questions about whether she could travel. Her lawyer said that as long as they were back before the trial, it was okay with him. On the afternoon of September 12, 1964, she made multiple trips to the same Safeway and started cashing bad checks to get money.
The boy toy is dead.
Frank fell into his old ways and stole cash, food, jewelry, and anything he could find from friends and family. And he actually was able to borrow a car from a friend that he would drive to the border.
And you're never gonna see it again.
Later that afternoon, when the car was filled with the stolen goods, they dropped off the kids with Sharon's ex-mother-in-law, and they headed to the border. They drove nonstop for 2 days until they reached Laredo, Texas, the final stop before the border. They didn't have the proper registration or paperwork for the car, so the police officer said they would have to leave the car behind, but they could cross. So they ditched the car and took the bus into Mexico. Real nice friend you are, just leaving your friend's car there.
Yep.
None of them had problems crossing, but there was a slight problem. Neither of them could speak Spanish,
Oops.
which made communication just a little bit difficult.
Okay.
On September 14th, they checked into the Hotel Gin, claiming they checked into it for its quaint name. When they arrived, it wasn't quaint.
Do they know what gin means?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they wanted it because it had a liquor name, so they thought they'd sell liquor.
Okay.
It wasn't quaint. There was roaches in the bathroom, rats and mice running through the hotels, running into the holes in the wall. It was also in an area that Sharon said was unsafe, so she slept with a pistol and a hatchet by her bed at all times.
God. I'm gonna hatchet you and then shoot you later. Sorry.
So after a few days, they were running low on money, and they also were getting sick from all the food and alcohol they were consuming. On Friday, September 18th, Sharon left the hotel to look for an English-speaking pharmacist for something for their stomach. She brought her pistol with her as a form of protection. A local man directed her to a hotel called Del Padro, which catered to Americans. The first person she ran into was a man named Francisco Perez Ordonez, a Mexican-born resident of California, and he was just visiting his family. Sharon was fed up with Frank and the lack of money, so she welcomed the male attention. And with the pistol in her pocket, she went up to his hotel room for a few drinks. Now, what happened next is unknown, only because we have Sharon's version of events, and I'm not inclined to believe them. Sharon said that after a couple of drinks, she got really tired. She decided to lay down in the bed and take a nap. And she said she woke up around 3 a.m. when Francisco tried to essay her. She believed she was in danger, so she pulled the pistol and fired into his chest twice, killing him instantly.
Okay.
The noise drew the attention of the night manager of the hotel. He ran to the room to see what was happening. Now, see, Walter, from the kidnapping of Barbara Jean? That's how you react when something happens. Not just,
It's okay, kids.
what do I do? I'm sorry. That just pissed me.
It's okay, Mulan and Willow.
I'm sorry, Mulan and Willow. So he ran into the room to see an unknown woman having shot a hotel guest. So he tried to detain her and wait for police, and that's when she shot him in the back, leaving him in critical condition. But before he went down, he managed to lock her in a bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Smart.
And call the police on her.
Okay.
The police arrived a short time later. Now they knew she was the shooter, but who was she? Her and Frank checked into the hotel, and they put the name for the hotel as under Mrs. and Mr. Frank Pugliosi. Now that didn't match the IDs they gave. She was calling herself Jeanette Pugliosi, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she gave them the ID of Sharon Kinnie.
Okay.
It didn't match the ID, so they handed the info over to the embassy. The police then learned she was due in court in a couple of weeks over the murder of her husband, a date she wouldn't be making. Sharon explained that she shot Francisco in self-defense, but she also did say that I've shot men before and got away with it. A few days later, after the night manager was cleared, they said they were going to charge her and hold her in court for the murder of Francisco in an attempted robbery. While officers from Mexico's Secret Service were still investigating, she was held in the Lucumbre prison, where she would stay until her trial. And unlike in the U.S., she had no support. On September 26, 1964, Sharon and Frank were arraigned for the murder of Francisco. Later, the charges against Frank would be dropped and he was deported back to the U.S. Sharon was livid because they were not granting her bail, and the press had dubbed her La Pistolera. Having learned of the arrest in Independence, Missouri, the investigators asked to have the pistol sent back to the U.S. for tests. Mexican authorities denied this because of the ongoing trial, but they sent the shells of them to Independence, Missouri. When they were tested, they were announced to be identical to the ones on and in Patricia Jones. So sadly, because of double jeopardy, they had to say the case was closed. Sharon did it, but we can't try her again. So, because once you put somebody on trial for a crime, you cannot charge them for the crime again.
Right.
So they're like, case closed. Patricia Jones was murdered by Sharon.
But she was in Mexico, so they couldn't really...
And they can't, no, and you can't even charge her for the murder anymore.
Oh, wow.
Because she had already been put on trial for the murder. And they had found her not guilty.
Oh, shit.
So...
Which shucks for Walter, because...
He probably won.
Doesn't get the piece.
Yeah. So... Sharon went on trial in Mexico for various charges, including homicide, causing bodily harm, illegally having a weapon, and fake paperwork. She pled not guilty. Her defense said that she was defending herself. And in this case, they had a panel of judges, and they determined the evidence didn't prove self-defense. And they found her guilty and sentenced her to 10 years. Now, after she would serve her sentence, she would be deported back to the U.S. Now, this got media traction, and they would send news agents to interview her, and she stuck to her story that it was self-defense, assuming that she was going to be free on appeal. It's unknown if she was aware that when they sentenced her, they had put in she could only appeal after serving 2/3 of her sentence. So after serving 6 years, she could appeal her sentence. As the press coverage faded, by the winter of 1966, she wasn't really appearing in papers. In March 1969, she gave an interview to the Kansas City Star, and she had kind of gotten used to the prison. She told reporter Kevin Kelligan she stopped planning for the future. Kevin said she reminded him of a truck stop waitress. She liked to talk a lot, and she gave the impression that she had been around.
Okay. I mean, they're called wizards.
She hadn't given up on her future, though. On the evening of December 7th, 1969, after serving 5 years, she attended a movie with the guards and other prisoners. Oh, yeah. By the way, she's 29 at this time.
Wow.
Yeah. She attended a movie with the other guards and prisoners. When they did a bed check that night, they realized she was missing. Officials searched the prison and couldn't find her at all. So they had to make a statement saying she had escaped prison. Mexico City police were unsure how she was able to escape a high-security maximum prison that was just built. They believe she bribed a bunch of the guards and warden. After weeks of no evidence, they said they were going to ease looking for her because they couldn't find her. It was a literal multiple agency task force looking for her. And they couldn't find anything. And it was that way until recently. So for 50 years, this was an unsolved case. But in early January of this year, the case was officially closed. In December of 2023, an anonymous tip was called into the FBI about the possible identity of Sharon Kinnie, a woman named Deidre Glabus, who had died January 21st, 2022 in Alberta, Canada, of natural causes. The FBI did a fingerprint analysis and was able to confirm that it was indeed her.
Oh, wow.
So she had died in Canada, Taber, Canada, to be exact. She had been living in Canada, so the cases in Missouri and Mexico closed.
Right, and she was 29 at the time, so she died almost at the age of 80.
Yeah. So she had been living in Canada since 1979. We don't know what happened between 1969 to 1979, but all we know is that in 1979, she appeared in Canada as Deidre Glabus with her husband, Jim Glabus, who were owners of the Tabor Motel. Jim died, sadly, at the age of 38 in 1979 due to natural causes.
He was 38
Mm-hmm.
and she was 79.
No, in
That's what
1979. So in
Oh,
1979,
79. Good God, okay.
so in 1979,
38.
she was married to a man. He was 38, and he died the year that they bought a hotel
Oh, wow.
of natural causes.
Wow, so she was left the hotel and anything that...
And all his life insurance and
stuff
everything like that.
Okay.
If it was natural causes.
Yeah.
Because who knows, maybe she got smarter.
Yeah, she worked smarter, not harder.
She married again 3 years later to a man named Willie L., who died in 2011 of natural causes.
God. She just bad luck Sharon is what she is. Because it seems like every time she gets married, they end up dying.
Or she kills them.
Yep.
She volunteered during her days still alive as Deidre.
Oh, Lord.
She volunteered with various organizations and was at one point the chairwoman of the Tabor Daycare Steering Committee.
Okay.
And she passed away.
Oh, wow.
January 21st, 2022 in Alberta, Canada.
Oh, wow. And then it just took them a couple of years, a few years to ship
Make
those
sure,
dishes.
verify, all that fun stuff. But that's the story of Sharon Kinnie.
Should have called her the Black Widow.
Yeah.
I mean, the way she was taking money, she would kill them, get their money, get their life insurance. And then, but 3 years later, she got married. He died. It's like, what the hell?
He lasted the longest, though. Because it was 3 years later, so they married in like 1982-ish. And he died in 2011.
But when she met the last dude, her husband before that guy.
Yeah. They must have met when she was on the run. In that 10-year
So
span.
they have no idea how long they've been married.
They had no idea how long they'd been married.
So
She
they
just
could have been.
appeared.
So that could have been the longest living husband
That could have been, yeah.
in the 10 years. That they had no idea where she'd be at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
And she was just vibing in Canada.
I knew I was doing this whole thing wrong.
50 years it was an unsolved case, and then eventually they were like, somebody called it an anonymous tip.
Took you long enough.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
And you know, it was so weird how they got it. I guess in Canada they fingerprint.
Yeah.
They fingerprint the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess after the anonymous tip, the FBI asked for her fingerprints, and they compared it to Sharon Kinnie's fingerprints, and that's how they were able to identify it was hers.
Isn't it amazing how you go from not having all of that cool equipment to now having it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of scary because it'll precisely tell you things that they couldn't tell you years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently she hated her prison sentence. She was like, the guards don't like me.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
You're literally a hazard to society.
You were killing people.
You killed at least 3
What
people.
happened to your kids? We didn't hear any more about the kids.
I'm pretty sure they stayed with their in-laws. Her in-laws.
Because I'm like, we hear everything about her, and I know what the case is about her, but what about the kiddos? What happened with the kids?
She was a neglect.
Do they acknowledge, like that they're related to her, that that's their mom? Did they not acknowledge her as their mom? How did they?
Well, I guess she had their funeral thing.
Yeah.
I was able to find her actual obituary thing.
Yeah.
And it said, this is no longer her obituary. Her actual obituary is Sharon Kinnie. That is her legal name. This is her husband and her son who passed. I am assuming the names that were on it were the Glambus.
Mm.
So I'm assuming she had a kid with her first husband and that kid passed.
Mm.
It did not make any mention of her living relatives.
Because having the boy and the girl. I mean,
Named her Troy.
that
It wouldn't surprise me if they wanted nothing to do with her because of how neglectful she was.
And that's understandable. Every right. I mean, it's their life too.
Because as soon as things would get hard, she would just leave. Or as soon as she would get bored, they would just leave.
Or the fact of, their mom's a killer.
Exactly.
They really don't want anything to do with that.
Exactly.
I've been playing with this. Because it lights up. This leaf lights up my life.
Well, the next episode is on the soap maker of Correggio.
Yes, it is. We gotta write out August too. Because we start spooky season next month.
With the Q&A, so we get to start
Oh,
on a fresh foot.
Yeah, we start off August on fresh foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be fun. And that one, that Q&A will be ask us any questions about these past podcasts.
Or if you're new, any of the older new ones.
Mm. She'll probably remember them better than I will. Because my memory just goes after doing these.
My brain is unlocking them.
So I might see if I can find. I know spooky season. I'm definitely gonna be doing research and finding some stuff because I know I have Edgar Allan Poe in October,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Sherlock Holmes, something. We'll figure out something.
Oh, we have
Spooky season.
we have a bunch. I think we have a bunch of like.
We're booked all the way up to what, November?
Yeah, and I think spooky season we have a bunch of like serial killers or like the awful kind of serial killers. Except September 1st. September 1st. Edmund Kemper is a serial killer, but he's not like the worst of the worst kind of serial killers. He's
Yeah.
like. But
That one we're gonna record. We have to record early because they're going on vacation.
yeah, and the reason Kemper I would say is one of the more favorite cases is because just not of who he was, but his reaction, the whole investigation. If I do recall correctly, Kemper was besties with the police. He would go to the bar with the police, and it was even rumored he would have the girls in his trunk and he would talk to the police
Oh wow,
in the bar with the girls in his trunk.
dude.
Because that whole entire thing of how he could separate himself is the most interesting thing.
Yeah.
But also, I saw a video. So this guy, he drove into a nightclub, like there was a line to a nightclub in LA. He drove into the line, injured 30 people, right?
Right.
And in typical LA fashion, they dragged him out of the car and they shot him,
Oh shit.
right? And the reason I say, oh, Troy passed away in 2005,
Oh, okay. Natural causes or
I'm assuming natural. The reason I say, have you ever heard of how Richard Ramirez was caught?
I think so.
How the police were looking for him and they had put his photos everywhere.
Yeah.
And a guy on the street saw him walking and went, "Hey, yo, it's him." And the whole entire neighborhood came and chased him down because he started running.
Oh, wow.
All of the men in the neighborhood chased him down and started to beat him up.
Oh wow.
To the point that when the police were called, they were not originally called to catch the killer.
Oops.
They were called to protect him because they were going to kill him. Because he had been killing mostly the women there in their community, and they were mad.
Well, you're right.
So they're like, "Nah, we're gonna handle this ourselves."
We got this. You just go eat
And
you
the
down.
police were like, "Okay, I'm here to keep him safe from you guys." And people were like, "Nah, let's just
Let's just
square
do our
up."
job. We're good. Natural causes. What about the daughter? Angela is our
research.
researcher. We do our research, but she does a lot of research too. Street justice, yeah, right? What is it? The one that looks like his sister, the dates don't match.
It's Dana Kinney.
I'm just like looking at this background because we're gonna have to change it up when it starts spooky season. I need to get some Halloween fabric behind us. I have some of villains. Maybe they'll have like a cool fabric or something at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Like a curtain.
Yeah, maybe.
that we can put. I was looking because I was trying to see how we could do it. Because I have a curtain rod that we may have to just buy one.
So she had a total of 4 children.
His obit only mentions Marla. Maybe his wife?
Unless
Maybe he
that
got
was the
married.
4 kids. She had Dana and Troy and then named her second son Troy.
Huh.
Let me see. I'm looking.
There's a fabric department at Walmart. Laugh out loud. There is. But it's not like, I don't think they have Halloween fabric yet. I don't want to have to sew things. I mean, we'll probably have to sew them anyways, but I want to just be able to put fabric up behind us to kind of, we can't really cover all of this, but you know what? Maybe we can do the spooky season on the couch.
So on August 11th, her husband Glabus, who was a diabetic and an alcoholic,
His
fell,
wife was Eddie. Okay.
She fell into a diabetic coma and
shit.
died of complications.
Who was that?
Glabus, her husband in
dang.
Canada. Her first husband in Canada.
In Canada.
It turns out he had been denied admittance to Tabor General Hospital twice in 2 days leading up to his death.
Oh, dang.
Sharon was left out of Glabus's will.
Ooh.
Sharon later married her third husband, Willie L., in 1982. L died on April 7th.
He
died April 7th, 2011.
So they were married for quite some time then.
Yeah, I'm trying to find more on her kids.
82 to 2011. That's a long time. Because it's like we do these cases and when they have children and children are involved and it's theirs. The obit I found was for Sharon. Oh, okay.
It said that he died at 79 and she died of a coronary artery disease, with Alzheimer's being listed as a contributing.
Huh. For Sharon?
Yeah.
Dang. Because we always just do cases that have where they have children.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always curious, what about the kids? What about
the children?
What about the children that had to, they had to live with this. They had to deal with this. I mean, rightfully so, not wanting to have anything to do with her because of what she did. Excuse me. Brent never asked us about the table. She was going to do it today when I asked him. Because I asked him about the pictures. I'm like, the first one, what? Oh, what's the matter, Mama?
Okay, it looks like Troy Kinnie. Huh. I can't find any more information.
Okay.
Or it looks like they're trying to keep the kids out of it.
I mean, that's what the kiddos wanted then. I'm wondering if she changed her name.
She did. She changed it to Deidre.
Oh, did she? I mean, and it's the kids' choice to not want to be a part of it, so I was just curious of how they lived after everything. Like did they get put in foster care and was adopted together, separate? Did they stay with the in-laws? Just wondering. Always curious.
Yeah, Deidre Grace Glaubus.
What is the daughter's name?
Is her name.
Oh, Sharon. No, Dana changed her name.
Oh, maybe. Dana changed her name.
So she thinks that she's wondering if Dana had changed her name.
Okay, so. Here. Siblings Eugene Edward. Children James Troy Kinney. 1959 to 2005.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like Dana changed her name.
Hmm.
She apparently had 4 children.
Mm.
The 2 with her first husband, and
then
probably
2
2
more.
with either her second or third.
Mm. Wow.
Wait, I could do this.
So how old is he? 50, 54? 55? 29? Yeah, he's 50s. If I'm counting that right. No, I'm not counting that right. I can't math. That's okay. You know what we could grab to make this spooky behind us? We'd have to raise this up. I need to fix that before we move. We can raise this
Do you mean
up.
the part that Tatara destroyed?
No, that happened. No, that happened when we moved in. Because I went to pull down on this, and the string in the middle went.
Oh, and then Tatara decided to dig her way through here because she saw the dog on the other side and was like, "Oh, my bestie."
Those little window things too, like you're supposed to put on your front door. You can put one on here.
The spooky decals.
The spooky details on the back, and then, or we could do it right there on the couch, and get fabric. Put some fabric on the back of the wall, kind of give it that spooky.
Oh god, my
Crap.
body hurts.
I'm tired. You know, I didn't see any B12 in that powder that I'm doing, but I am tired now.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's my this is the second week I think I've like had my 2 days off actually.
Yeah.
So.
Are you going in tomorrow or not going in tomorrow?
I'm not going in tomorrow.
Okay.
Carla never texted me.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe Marla is doing. Oh, true.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe the kids just don't want to be found. They don't want to be attached to
Well,
her.
you can't find what's his name because he passed.
Yeah.
Well, just a curious thing that I was wondering.
Yeah.
But
yeah, not tomorrow, next Monday, we have the Soap Maker of Correggio, and that's going to be in 1700s. So it's going to be an interesting case.
you'll be there tomorrow. I will too. 7 to 4.
Unless Carla texts me at 10 o'clock at night being, Abby, can you come into work 7 to 4?
Yeah, I work I work 7 to 3, but I'm going to be in apparel all day. So if any of my coworkers are watching this, I will be in apparel tomorrow and unavailable for you. Actually, I told
4 to 12:30.
I told Maria that I would come in. I have to do my stuff on the phone first. Then
Go help prepare.
I can go.
Yeah, because apparel, last I heard, I know, so the day she's told you we had 40 pallets, you guys managed to get 4 pallets done, right?
I think so.
So that means we had 34 pallets.
Yeah, 36. We did 4.
Oh yeah, 36, not 34. 36 pallets.
So we have more to do.
I worked rolling racks.
That's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, they're trying to empty.
There's 2 rolling racks on the floor that I have to go through and not price it, but if it says $3 and $5, I'm to print those out. I can't mark nothing down because I don't have the option to do that. But, and Maria keeps thinking I do, but I don't. I don't have the option to do that, but I was told that I can, if it's $3 and $5.
You don't have the change price button?
Nope, I do not. I'm not in apparel.
Well, no, because I saw a friend associate who had it on their phone.
Yep, nope, I can't.
Okay.
And so
Damn.
I just told her I have to do my stuff in the morning, and then I'm to mark whatever's $3 and $5. That's what I'm to mark, and then I'm to leave everything else, and then they'll figure that out. like, okay.
They'll probably leave it to for me in the morning.
Well, she said, or I could wait till Wednesday and do it. And I'm like, I can work on it tomorrow. That's fine.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest, our back room is so full of old freight, it's not even funny.
Yeah, and I can't wait because they are trying to find my replacement for our locator, and it's not a bad job. It is not. I mean, it's not coded, but at the same time, I'm not guaranteed this job when we move. So that's why I'm stepping away from it. I'm not stepping away from it because I don't like it. I do like it. It's the fact of I don't know if every single store with Walmart has that position. And if I'm not job coded to it, I don't want to go to another store and I'm not job coded to it and I can't have it. So I'm trying to get into apparel with Abigail. That way we move, wham bam, thank you ma'am.
It drives me crazy. So why they keep me in fitting rooms in the morning? Because even though I'm in fitting rooms, I do everything else that they need to be done. Price markdowns, clearance reviews, price audits.
Excuse.
In intimates, if they have price changes, I take care of the price changes.
Yep. Ooh, I do want to add to our little podcast things though. Excuse me. That we might do some cooking.
Yes. Also, I am sorry, Thomas
so Dana
and
she either passed before Troy or was just left out of the obit. Okay.
yeah.
Thomas.
Thomas and Angela, I'm sorry, you missed the lemon blueberry cupcakes.
Yeah, I told him that on Sunday. I totally understand. I am a one-man army for hardware. Oh, I don't doubt that at all. Marla was born 10 months after the first murder, and no one knows who her dad is.
So she was born after James's murder.
Oh, snap. But who was the other dude?
Walter.
No, her side piece.
John Boldy's.
He could be.
But she was sleeping with everybody.
Yeah, but he could be her dad.
She was like one of those like.
She's a lot.
She wasn't a girl's girl, but she also wasn't a guy's girl. She was just a criminal.
She was slutty. She's a slutty criminal.
But no, it's gonna be.
Just saying. I mean, he could be her dad. Who knows?
Yeah. You want the pumpkin strudel?
It's a muffin.
She was a doorknob.
Couldn't wait to be turned.
So I am so excited. Justin's gonna take me to see Fantastic Four.
Good. Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
You need a popcorn bucket with Pedro Pascal on it
You're
that I can
damn
have?
right. No, you're not having it.
It's not nice.
I'm keeping it.
I want it. Just give me the one side with him on it.
No.
Yes. No, everyone gets a turn. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, no, she was one of those like.
Whatever John had earlier. Oh, yeah, we have them at Walmart. Here, I'll show you.
They're pumpkin streusel muffins.
They're good. Justin, move that one. I have a donut over here and a pumpkin. Oh, somebody poked a hole in the damn thing.
That would be Justin.
So yeah, it's a pumpkin spice. Why can't he stop touching my shit? Because now I can't.
It's
a pumpkin spice streusel
strudel.
muffin, but they're good. I actually like them. But no, I was talking to her about doing some cooking, not a lot, but some. Yum, walnuts. No walnuts in it. I ain't tasting walnuts because I hate walnuts.
It's safe for me.
But I was talking to her about cooking, like for the holidays or something. Because one, you guys will see this kitchen look like Christmas threw up in it again. And,
But you will not see a Christmas tree until after December 16th.
yeah, because we're not allowed to put one up.
We're not
until
allowed to
after.
put a Christmas tree up until after.
And
the
I
16th.
also will do a decorating video for the fall. So that way it gives the I still have the fake snow underneath the bench over there that I never picked up.
Just keep that year round.
I just keep it year round.
Year round.
But yeah, you guys will do some video.
You know what
on
we should get?
What?
We should get a concrete slab.
Why?
Because cats apparently love concrete slabs.
Okay, there's one right out there.
They just throw themselves on it.
I like to put our see. This is why I think it's safe that we have our own apartments. Because
Yes.
I can do my Christmas tree up after Thanksgiving. She can't.
I can't because Justin's birthday is on December
It's the
16th.
very earliest. It's the day after Thanksgiving. Yes, I always put mine up after Thanksgiving.
It is.
Always.
I am allowed to decorate for Christmas. I'm not allowed to put the Christmas tree up because Justin's birthday is December 16th, and he is a little bit of a Grinch. And
it's 9 days before Christmas. You know what? It's his fault because he was late. He was supposed to be born on December 10th. He would have had 15 days, okay? 15 days. But no, somebody wanted to show up 6 days later, so that's his fault. I tried everything. He did not want to come out. So that is his fault.
Tell us how you really feel.
We're going to say December, we're going to make a video.
December 16th.
Whose fault is it? Justin's. He did not want to come out. None of my kids did. They all were a little bit late. My oldest was born the 9th of December. She doesn't wait. Damn. Yeah, right? Nope, Justin was waiting. He's like, I'm chilling in here. It's nice and toasty.
Hey, it's on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. And we don't celebrate it either because he doesn't want to celebrate.
You know what? I try. I try so hard. I even got him Grinch wrapping paper.
That was pretty funny.
And he goes,
All of his stuff was wrapped in Grinch paper.
and he goes, is this because I'm a Grinch? And I was like, yes.
Idea. You've got to buy from Hobby Lobby the Grinch Christmas tree. You have to. You have to. Sorry, I love you, Justin. You have to.
I specifically wrapped all of his stuff in Grinch paper and then wrapped everybody else's in normal.
Yep. Like I got gnomes. She might wrap.
Yeah, I got her gnomes.
She got me gnome wrapped paper. Justin got Grinch. He's a Grinch.
I think John got like snowflakes or something like that.
Yeah, he got something pretty.
Yeah.
We need to like literally. We do need to theme our freaking gifts. That'd be fun.
Everyone gets their own specific thing.
Yes.
Because we have a problem in this house. And that problem's name is Tataru.
Yeah,
and
she eats
Tataru eats paper. So the moment presents are on the ground, she goes, ooh, I'm going to open them.
And she does. She opens it. So
She scratches at them until they're open.
we need to have a well, you, not me, because I don't have an issue with my three. You need to have like a fireplace gate. You're gonna have to get a few of those and zip tie them together so her ass she might jump over.
She would jump over it. I mean,
your spare room. If you have a 3-bedroom house, bam. Sure, kiddo gets birthday present paper for her birthday, cause
oh yeah, no.
I know it
Justin
annoys her that
Justin
people
doesn't get
wrap
Christmas
this.
paper for his gifts. I wrap it in birthday present.
Yeah,
wrapping.
we do that. We do that totally different.
I don't know why he thinks I was gonna be like that. Ooh.
Well, the day before.
Oh.
Damn. Oopsie. That's what you get for being born the day before.
But no. I wrap his stuff in regular wrapping paper.
Yeah. I have a cousin that his birthday is the 18th. Walt Disney's birthday is the 5th.
Yes, I like to do the Christmas. The paper is different for every person. I am that
I think
kind
that
of
would be
person.
fun. And then not only that, we're going to be spending our first Christmas next year with mine and Justin's side of the family, with our family.
Yeah, so after this year,
And then,
oh,
but what's nice?
shoot!
But what's nice?
Oh
let me tell
my
you
gosh,
something.
I just realized.
But let me tell you what's nice though, is we don't buy presents for each other's kids. We buy for adults.
See, that
That's-
makes sense.
That's all we do.
Just
like he likes to buy for the kids, but the kids are old enough to where they don't need things bought for them.
Yeah.
If we just bought for, like John and I buy for each other, and then we buy for Leroy and Jamie, and then Stephen and Jasmine, and then you and Justin, bam, adults are done. We don't have to buy, you know, and maybe for Mariana and AJ, my youngest nieces, and and Caleb and what the heck is her name? Come on, help me here. What is her name? Oh my gosh.
I know, it sucks that the
niece.
99-cent store closed.
My great niece, what the hell's her name?
I don't know.
I don't either. I am so sorry, Jamie. You're going to have to, if you ever watch this, please put her name in the comments. I totally forgot what her name was. But she was in her own, my niece's daughter and son. We would probably buy for them too, and AJ and Mariana, because they're still young.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never really celebrated Christmas with my family. So I don't know what the deal is with that family.
Ooh, Secret Santa's a good idea. Mine would be too easy. Come on. Either Barnes and Noble's, Bath and Body Works, or
Have
Disney.
you? What's the game where you can steal from each other? I feel like
White
that's
elephant?
a really cool white elephant where you can steal from each other.
Yeah.
Ooh.
White elephant. I like the Secret Santa for the adults. It'd be fun. Buy Leroy a bag of golf balls.
Also, I was looking. Actually, I wasn't even looking. It appeared on my For You page. Do you know that if you're getting married, you can send like wedding invite to like Chick-fil-A
Ooh.
and like all the like Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, Delta Airlines,
Why
Nike.
would you do that?
Well, cause guess what they do?
What?
They go, "Thank you for inviting us to our wedding. I am so sorry we couldn't make it," and they'll send you like goodie bags.
Damn. Do you know if you send an invite if you live in California or Florida and you get married and you send an invite to Mickey and Minnie and them, and if you have your wedding at the sites, they'll show up. Like if you have which by the way, I have looked up Disney weddings, it's about $65,000.
I saw somebody get married at 4:00 in the morning.
Because the park is closed and you get the whole thing to yourself. And it's in front of Cinderella's castle. And you get a white horse-drawn carriage. Girly. That's what you get. You get all of
I
that.
am not that kind of person.
Neither am I. One, it's too damn expensive, and I ain't getting up at 4 o'clock in the damn morning.
Exactly.
Bite my ass. But yeah, they
Hi,
sit there, and
Tataru.
if you send an invite to, I wonder what you would do if you would send an invite
To Disney?
to Disney or Disney World or Disneyland, and you can't, like, you live in a totally another state. What would happen?
They might send you a box.
Out of curiosity, I'm kind of curious. Not true. There are weddings that are cheaper.
Just not in front of the castle.
Yeah. The one person what was his name? There's a guy that does weddings, and he was saying, wow, three grand for other locations.
3,000. I'm gonna be honest.
That's still a lot.
That's a lot. I'm looking for like cheap.
David something. His name is. It's David something because I used to watch him, and boy, did he get some bridezillas. But he was when I looked up. Oh, it's one of his weddings. I'm sorry, one of his weddings, not Disney. It was $65,000 for him to do it.
Yeah, no, I for whatever reason got on wedding TikTok, and like I keep seeing like, hey, get married at this venue. It's only $5,000.
Are you gonna pay for that? Because I'm not.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I
still like
found
Jasmine's.
out though that you can get married at national parks, and the only thing you have to do is put a $200 application fee.
There you go.
And if you do it and you like don't leave a mess, you get a refund.
Go to Yellowstone as the volcano was going.
I mean, you could.
You better run for your life.
Make sure you're wearing a nice dress that you can run in. Look at Tataru. Look at her judging
We're
us.
just gonna put you in a wagon and pull you. Wheelbarrow. Get her out of there. With your knees, we don't know what they would be doing at that moment.
Look at her.
Hi, Princess. Hi, Peanut. Peanut. You know she does not answer to Peanut. She answers to Tataru, kind of. Or that. Hi, Peanut.
Baby.
Tataru.
Hi.
TT. Wanted to get married on a beach, but never getting married again. Oh.
I mean, you could have a ceremonial. You don't have to get legally get married.
Yeah. Bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Kitty. Oh, that's a good kitty.
Totally understand that. See, I'm that whole part of when I'm comfortable, we'll discuss it. I'm not comfortable yet.
Any wedding that were to happen would be in Kansas, and we're not in Kansas yet, so there's no point in planning.
Yep.
There's no point in thinking about it because I don't know the venue. I don't know the area.
And see, the venue my sister did, hers was, I believe, only $800 for the venue. It's pretty cool, though.
I'm gonna be honest, I would probably choose a national park.
I totally understand that.
It'd be really pretty.
And it's cheap.
And it's cheap.
$200.
We would just have to, like, do a lot of arts and crafts.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know.
I almost went live on TikTok on my thing though, because we can't go live on TikTok yet. So no, Toto,
No,
we are not in
we are
Kansas.
not in Kansas right now. I wish we were. Hey,
And-
Toto.
Tataru,
TT.
Peanut,
Baby
Fart
girls.
box.
Mija.
Paw Eater.
Hermione.
Michelle answers to Hermione. That was funny. She's like, I trying to clean myself. Leave me alone.
Hermione? No, doesn't work again.
Tataru. Peanut.
Look at me.
She'd be like, what do you want? And then you got Mulan and Willow over there going, shut up, I'm trying to sleep. She is ignoring.
She is ignoring. She's very good at it.
She is very good at ignoring.
She's also very good at sitting and judging.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really good at
She has Betty Davis eyes. She's judging eyeballs.
it. Have you seen JoJo Siwa
Mm-hmm.
recently?
Mm-hmm. It pops up on my freaking social media crap.
She's gone full trad wife.
Yeah, I'm just all...
Yeah, she's gone full... Remember how she was, like, super, like, trying to be alt and punk?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Hip-hop. She's gone full trad wife. I mean, like, pin curled hair.
Yeah. Have fun with that. Good luck to you.
Nothing wrong with trad wives.
No.
I kind of like the trad wife clothing aesthetic.
Look at this. These two have 150 experience.
Damn.
What does that mean?
What do you do?
I wonder what that means.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right. Look me dead in the eye.
She drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, she drank the Kool-Aid.
Okay, kids.
Also, you want to hear a fun statistic?
Go ahead.
They did a study in late 2024, and it was a survey amongst 2,000 moms. And it was whether they were going to vaccinate their children by all vaccinations by the 18 months that they need. Do you want to know what percentage said that they were going to fully vaccinate their children?
50.
35 to 40%.
That's close.
And at that point,
Yeah.
basically that makes vaccines completely useless. Because even if you're vaccinated and you have that few people getting vaccinated,
Yeah.
that means the potential for diseases to change, but also because they're not getting vaccinated, their viral loads are so much bigger, meaning people who haven't been vaccinated in a while, like you or me, could potentially get the illness. That's a fun little fact.
It is.
Vaccinate your kids. Unless there's reasons for not to vaccinate your kids. Like medical reasons.
Okay, I'll stop. Stop being silly. She had that paw up like she was ready to slap.
Exactly. And if 35 to 40% are the only ones who are like, yeah, up to 18 months is when you're going to have our kids fully vaccinated, it's going to be useless. So we live in a world where we might have vaccines that are completely useless. You and I could get the measles.
Well, I mean, what else is there?
Mine
are vaccinated.
And that's the bad thing. I was listening to somebody talk and they were like, yeah, even if your kids might be vaccinated, because the viral loads are so large in unvaccinated children, if they have it, they could potentially, it might not be a full stop. It might lessen the illness, but it's not a full stop. And I'm like, that's awful. That's terrible. But yeah, Tatar, are you turning your back to me? Her back is turned to me. She refuses to look at me. Hi. Hi. Exactly, and I actually read something that said that we are really, really close because of all the cases that have been popping up in the United States. The United States is really close to, we have the title of like measles being exterminated from our population in the United States. We are really, really close to losing that title. that measles have been exterminated in the United States, that we might actually have it, that it is a illness that is actually really common and not gone. Which is really, we're in 2025 and we might have measles no longer be exterminated in the United States, which is insane.
Insane in the brain.
Yeah.
Insane in the brain.
Insane. Got no brain.
We're all just mad here.
Yeah, the bubonic plague wasn't Flagstaff.
Wow.
Make sure your dogs don't fleas or
Yeah.
ticks, because
That's where it's coming from.
yeah, because ticks can also get it.
We were
Fleas and ticks
pixelated.
can get it.
We were pixelated.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, kids, I'm hungry and tired. I need foods. So I will see you guys mañana at work.
See you guys soon.
And I'm off Wednesday, so yeah.
I am not. I come back Wednesday.
I think her and I will get to, well, we live in the same house. Get together and figure out what type of a menu we can do for the fall.
Yeah.
Not the rats.
The fleas. So the fleas are on the rats. So the bubonic plague is in the rats, and then the fleas jump on the rats, and then they drink the blood of the rats, and then they hop onto other animals. Like in the desert specifically, like this region, the fleas don't know the difference between prairie dogs and dogs. So the fleas will jump onto prairie dogs, not know the difference between like Hermione and a prairie dog, jump on the dog, and then the human pet, and then the pet comes in and spreads the bubonic plague inside people.
Yep.
So in the desert, we have to be really careful about letting your animals near prairie dogs, because if the fleas get onto from the prairie dogs get onto your dog, then you run the risk of having a higher chance of exposing to bubonic plague.
Then your whole house looks like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. And once it gets to a certain point, they can't really treat it.
So in other words, if you get it, you think you have it, get to the hospital.
Soon.
Sooner than later.
Yes, it may be one hell of a bill, but
I'd
it's
rather
not
take
worth
that
dying.
I'd rather take that one hell of a bill. But
because then they also have to track down every person you talk to.
love you.
Bye. How do the kids do it nowadays?
It's an upside down triangle. There it
No,
is.
you're supposed to.
I can't. Yeah, that's so fucking stupid. I can't see what I'm doing.
I prefer the old way.
I can't do it. Yeah, that looks like so fucking dumb.
Do you know how kids answer the phone nowadays?
What up?
No, when they're like call somebody. Do you know how they're doing it?
Or you do like my brother? What?
No, when like you know how like you used
No.
to go like this when you're talking, like pretending to talk on the phone?
Yeah.
They go like this now.
Smack her.
No, I'm not kidding.
I'm gonna do a heart for us. Because we need it. Open it up. Which is, oh look, our little hearts are popping. Is that
Oh.
me? Is that me doing that, or is that them doing that?
I think that might be you.
No, I ain't touching it. They're
Oh.
popping up. There's ours. Whee!
Okay, I think we're having too much fun with the hearts, okay?
Yeah, okay. Open! You fucker. Y'all have to let me know if it beeps out the words, because I have it set to where it beeps out the inappropriate language. You took my idea. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna do this one now. Oh.
This is why we can't have.
They need to have different ones for the holidays, okay? All right, children, we gotta go.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.